Hey guys, Midwestern Outdoor Boys coming at you. Adam coming at you here. So we're going to talk about late season goose hunting setups, decoy setups. I get a lot of questions on this, and so we want to talk about this. Okay, we're going to talk about first doing it on a lake and what does that look like, or a body of water. Now the big thing is if you have a portable blind, you want to always set up your blind so that the wind is behind you and that the birds are going to come right into you, okay? So we're going to talk about that, and then if you don't, and maybe you have a blind that's stationary, maybe you hunt this blind consistently, so you might have crosswinds and things like that. We're going to talk about that as well, all right? So I'm just going to use this as an example. Let's say we have a north wind, okay? So we're going to go with a north wind, okay? So our wind is coming down and blowing that direction, right? And here's our blind. All right. Now this is the water, and it's all locked up. Okay, it's ice. If you can open up that water, that will help you tremendously. Waterfowl loves it. So if you can open up this body of water and open up a little section right here in front of your blind, that will help tremendously for you. Okay. Now not everybody has that ability, but we're going to talk about that first. I like to open up just a little section of the water right in front of us. It doesn't have to be a huge actual area that you open up. It can be 10-foot radius, 15-foot, 20-foot radius. I mean, the bigger, the better for the most part. All right, but the big key thing is you want it to stay away from your blind just a little bit. So I like to get out here about 15, 20 yards away from my blind is what I open up. Okay, so I'm going to open up this little area right here, just like that. All right. So now we have a north wind, so these birds are going to come in and we want them to land right here. So what I'm going to do is I will put probably, 4, 5, 6 decoys, and I'll set them right in here in the water, okay? Not a lot, but just a few, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little bit of what I call a V, and I'm going to put sleeper shells right on the outside, and I'll put them on both sides, okay? Now, over here, let's say this is all water or lake and I have a little bit of land over here. I will put more of the decoys towards the water side than I will the land side. I like to put them about 3 to 4 deep, okay? Total, what I would look at is we would do something of about probably 40 to 60 decoys sitting out there. And the whole goal of that is I want those birds to come in and flock right into the middle and set themselves either right here on the edge of this, which is probably going to be about a 25-yard shot, 30-yard shot, or I want them to actually commit right into the water if I can. Okay? Now, the bigger the spread, the later it goes. Okay? As the later in the season, we like to get bigger spreads out. Most of the time, early season, we see a lot of families, 4, 5, 6 geese at a time, pairs. As the later season, the colder it gets, the more they flock together. All right? And especially coming back up from the south, they're going to go back up to the Canadas and mate and have babies and things like that. They start to come in big flocks where we see 50, 60, 80, 100, 150 birds in a flock. So we want some big numbers when we're coming out here to hunt these. Now, let's say you're dealing with that same thing, but you're dealing with a crosswind. You can't move your blind. A lot of our blinds that we hunt, they're not portable, okay? So I'll do the exact same thing. But let's say I'm dealing with a wind that's coming out of like the west. Okay, so my wind is blowing that direction, right? So now what I'm going to do is do the exact same thing is I'm going to put 4 or 5 decoys in the water, right? But now I'm not going to put them on both sides. I'm going to put it on the opposite side or on the side of the wind. So I'm going to put my decoys here. All on this side. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of wrap them around just a little bit. Mostly I'm going to wrap them more around to the back side here. All right? I'm also going to fill it in more a little bit on the away from the area than I am closest to the blind. I don't want their attention necessarily on the blind in case somebody's in our blind, moving, things like that. And now what I'm going to do is they're going to come circle around, and they're going to come right into here, and they're going to pitch right there. And so now it's going to be a cross shooting in front of my blind, but I hope they're setting up their big wings, and their feet are coming down to touch, and they're 15, 20 yards right in front of our blind, and it's going to be perfect. I love shooting big geese. Man, they always look like fire jets. So hopefully this helps. If you like this, subscribe. Check out some of our other videos. Good luck to you guys hunting.